The circle is as fragile as breath and as eternal as stone. All right, enough of the craziness. Enough of Gabriel. That Gabriel is the one that you probably didn't meet. That's the one that's not allowed on the street, the one that growls, the one that roars. And neither is any man who roars. Let me blow out my candles, because, fire is a very big part of this, but I don't want to ruin that. We're off to a terrible start here, but that's okay. I am no lunatic. This is not delusion. This is not your typical fundraiser. The absurdity of all of this is the point. That's actually the clarity of it. Gabriel is simple, who you met, who handed you one of these guys. It's the only reason you're probably here. There's a very slim chance you made it here otherwise. And I hope you enjoyed our experience together. If it was just a breath, we were able to engage in something more, wonderful. That is why I'm doing it this way. I have no online presence. This is it for now. And that is what part of the funding will go towards, is to a website to officially track everything that this is and everything it will be, documented step by step, action by action, stone by stone, circle by circle. This is a process to rebuild in us. What Gabriel represents is what we have forgotten. And how could you not? How could you not have forgotten? And this is why I know none of this vision is mine. I just happen to stumble into so many absurdities and so many blessings and luck to be here, speaking to you now, fearlessly walking down the streets, dancing and curtsying and bowing to all of you. Because I see you, sufferer. The zeitgeist of our era, of right now, began some time ago, when we started colonizing and cutting ourselves in half, metaphorically and literally, killing the savages, people just living off the land. And this has always brought tears to me. It's either rage or tears because of what was done. But I forgive my ancestors. My ancestors have also given me everything, their sacrifices. This is about remembering that. And going back to the origins and to why the zeitgeist that I alluded to is disconnection. This disconnection happens when we sever ourselves from the animal, when we banish the animal to the shadows because of the fear of our own power. That we are animals. We fear that. This is why we become machines, endlessly scrolling. Dopamine! Dopamine! Give me more! There's not enough! Look, this is for those that know, that feel it. This is the emotion and the tears that will come from this. Tears are the first sign of truth, of deep truth. This is about building a place where my son, my little wolf, can be his ferocity and his drive can be honored, not fucking medicated and told to sit still. This has all come from experiential truth. I am not naive about any of this. This is all so simple and practical, it blows my mind. And it's gone from miracle and step by step of when my father died, when I was 12 years old, is the beginning when my story started to be forged. I had 3 brothers, 2 older, now a doctor and a teacher. They got just enough of his incredible presence, his beautiful balance of discipline and love, of attention and thunder. The thunder! Jack! Stop it! I'll never need to do anything more than use my voice to set those boundaries for my 8-year-old son. And that thunder was what was missing when my father died. So I wandered off into the shadows, naively, ignorantly, searching. My mother, I honor her through this as well. My father had a pre-existing condition, so we couldn't get life insurance, so we instantly became poor. My mom was a stay-at-home mom who worked as a server and would babysit neighborhood kids. She became a soldier with 4 boys, 18, 16, 12, and 8. She went back to school and work, relentlessly doing whatever she could to provide for her 4 sons. I love you, Mom. Thank you. And I know, and I gave my mom hell, absolute hell, because I was like my son. I see it in him now, that ferociousness since he was just a toddler. And now still in him. But now what scares me the most is seeing the outside world turn him shy and bashful and scared of his own strength. And I won't let that happen. And this is about all men. This is a battle cry. A battle cry! Do you hear me? This is not to be scrolled over. The violence, the wild acts of violence are from disconnection. Men. Why is it white men? Oh, I wonder why. Because we've been suppressing our animal the longest. And when the animal is caged and not welcomed to the fire, like the arena will do, because the fire can handle anything. The circle can handle anything, especially with a brotherhood. The journey will be taken alone. This is not some cult, dogma, BS, some kind of, in 2 days, we're going to change your life forever. No, this is immersion for a month, possibly longer, still to be decided. Long enough to truly remember how our consciousness is shaped and has always been shaped. Humans, we've been walking this earth for hundreds of thousands of years. And now we are machines. We are way more machines than anything else. And the problem with that is our right brain, our left brain is the machine part of us. The one that has very difficult time accepting the anomaly. And it is our right brain that allows for the anomaly to take place. And this is why the greatest battle is not out in the outside world of people arguing over the stupidest things over and over and over again, and why do you think it just keeps swinging back and forth from liberal to conservative? Because you just go too far. Overcompensation. And this fight that's going on inside you doesn't have a place. And that's what this is. A place to bring that fire for men, for boys, to experience it. Animism is normative consciousness. Shout out to the Emerald. We live this way, connected to the land and to our bodies for a long time, and we've severed that connection. And it leads to fear. Our fear of the animal, of the violence, casts out the ferocious boy into the shadows. And our ancestors said it best. The outcast will burn down the village just to feel its warmth. How could he do this? How could someone do something so awful? I will tell you exactly why. Because it could have been me. It could have been me committing atrocious acts of violence. But I'm one of the lucky ones. And that's why I have no choice. And I've worked so hard. Please read this essay. Please. I've poured my heart and soul, hundreds of, 100 hours at least, to try and fit all that matters into the most condensed form. Because I know that the attention span of, where's our attention span now? Most are probably already turned off the video, but I don't care. This isn't for them. This is for the ones that know, that hear still in their bones, something is wrong, something is off. What is it? What is it? Why am I so lonely? Why do I feel such despair? Why don't I want to live? Why am I afraid to live? I know that feeling all too well. For 10 years, I drifted into addiction, and I wore the mask that the darkness gave me for all through high school and into college. Just luckily avoiding severe enough consequences to truly deter my life. I got just enough pain and confidence that the threshold was reached when I was around 25, 26. I'm 41. And then I decided there's only two outcomes to a hedonistic, nihilistic life of hiding behind masks. And that is oblivion, death, or redemption, bending the knee, saying, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I got to figure this out. And the problem with that then is even the ones that think they know how to fix you or how to help you don't. They can help. Everything is so surface level, and that's what the arena is about. Not a 2-day retreat or some place to come share and feel connected just for like an hour so I feel a little bit better. No. This is an immersion experience into a sacred place. You can see the blueprint, the outline, a temple at the center, a field house. Practical ways to experience what all of our ancestors did. Initiation, acknowledgement of the boy and the trials without the gore. If you really want to see what our ancestors did, research it. It's insane to us now, but it made perfect sense to them, and it still makes perfect sense to me, because life is suffering. Life is trial after trial that never ends. And some will try to break you. Some will break you. But the fire, the circle, will always remain. And we've shattered that circle into thousands and thousands and just countless pieces. But we can rebuild it. And I vow to my son, to my father, to every boy, every single boy who needs it, who needs every little wolf that needs to be seen and heard and challenged and hear the protective thunder of a father's voice. That's what this is for. This is real as anything there is. Because it's not When we train and understand our animal, our own powers, then, and only then, can we not succumb. Because truth is only a rumor until the body knows it. Wisdom is gone. Respect, gone. Integrity, gone. Because we're hiding behind screens, shouting insults at each other. Like we're not even humans. We're robots, just shouting insults at each other. This is why I don't participate in any of that. This is why this is not going to be done through Twitter, through Facebook, through any of that. Because this is real. And it's happening in Chicago, where this vision was formed. So let me get to those seeds where this vision was formed. And if you read the essay, you'll know. After just 3 years, I buried myself. I realized I had no idea what I was doing. To stay sober in the beginning, after 11 years of just drugs and chaos, it was really hard. But something inside me told me, just keep searching. You'll find something. So I read and I read and I read. All of that fire in me that I was drowning in alcohol, I poured into books, and I found what I've been looking for. But it was just in a book. It just pointed the direction. What's in your brain is not knowing. Only the body knows. Rumor is only a knowledge until the body knows it. And this is all about as well. I used to suffer migraines, anxiety and depression, suicide, every misery you can think of when it comes to the loneliness and despair, not understanding why you feel this way. And then I followed the path that was laid out before me by the wise old sage that I was searching. I don't remember my grandfathers at all, and my father being taken. The circle shattered from generation to generation, like it has been for so many. And in that, just by setting out with proper aim and intentions to live through the words of these old sages. And that was the thing. I was reading all kinds of stuff. But what I really saw, and it didn't hit me until a year later, all the ones that I trusted were men that lived deep into old age, 85, and died with smiles on their faces. That was something I knew I could trust. And where is that? Where is that now? Our fear of the tyrant has killed so many just kings, and I refuse to let that continue. This is ours. And now let me get into the seeds of why it's ours and the sacrifices by others. After I started volunteering as a tutor, once I was a year and a half into sobriety as a literacy tutor, I learned how many people couldn't read to a higher level in Chicago, and there was a local community center, and I was like, bam, that sounds fun. Reading saved my life. So let's go offer it to someone else. And through that, doors and doors just kept opening. And I found myself in my true vocation as a mentor, a facilitator to kids just getting out of juvie, 14 to 20-year-olds. My job was to, and this is a fresh program, I had to create curriculum. It was, the first couple weeks were terrifying. Here I am, this goofy white guy from the suburbs, full of men and not men, but boys, hardened beyond anything I'd known. Me, but harder. And I'm pretty damn hard. I just looked in their eyes and I saw myself. And I wanted to help, but I knew what it would take. It would take trust, and trust takes time. So I waited and I waited. And once some of the older guys started to realize who I was. I only spoke vulnerable, honest. Never told them stories to try and make them feel better. It was always honest, what they needed. And then peace circles. What is the next step after the QR code? Email me, become a part of Peace Circles. They are beautiful and sacred. That is the next step and stone in this. We will sit in a circle. Anyone is invited. Children need to be able to, parents, I'm speaking to you, they need to be able to respect the space, old enough to be able to hold the silence. Because what a peace circle is a gathering. It could be 4 to 10. And then there's a sacred piece that we pass around. It could be this pencil, but I promise it'll be more beautiful than that. And I will, as a facilitator, pose questions, maybe statements, and we go around. We pass the stick. We pass the piece. And everyone, and it's all voluntary. You can come and just listen. And that was the beauty of it, what I saw, and why it'll never leave me. And it's a fundamental part of all of this. Because I watched kids for weeks never say a word. They were in the circle. And then it cracked them open like nothing could. Opening up, sharing themselves vulnerable, and not shamed, but applauded from their brothers sitting across from them. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And here's where the next seed was planted. Here it is. Because to see that spark again in a young man's eyes, in a young boy's eyes, that desire to strive again, to try and remember and become the best he can be. And then he wouldn't come back to the circle. It wasn't by choice. He didn't make the choice to come back. He wanted nothing more than to come back. But those circles ended at 8 p.m. The neighborhood and the chaos he was forced to face every day did not end. And I honor these tears. I honor them. Nobody deserves what they faced. They stood up for themselves and were just dragged down by others who couldn't dare accept someone else rising and becoming better than them. Misery loves company. So they were murdered. But just standing up for themselves and trying to walk the right path. And that their sacrifices, there will be stones laid for them. Without their unknowing sacrifice, this vision never happens. In that moment, I realized there needs to be a place outside of society, outside of the noise, outside of the distractions, so they can be given a real chance. A real chance. And now, we fast forward, I left nonprofit because of the utter hypocrisy and stupidity and red tape and BS, because it was all so surface level, because I've lived it. I found my dream, what I thought was my dream job 3 years after working in there. Only I was hired in 15 minutes and fired in 15 minutes. Why? Because of a background check. And the funny thing is, in the interview, I told them every single detail, well, anything I've ever done as far as that on my record. I told them exactly what the crime was that I was convicted of. And yet, I met some other man in a cubicle on my first day. He says, we're going to do a background check. I'm like, okay, I already told you everything. Nothing to worry about. It's like, you don't have anything violent on there, do you? Does aggravated battery count? Knowing damn well it did. And I didn't even get angry, because at that point, my faith was building. and realizing that coincidences are not coincidences, the system threw me out again. One of the most capable men of helping those adults. It was a 3-year contract, which is very rare in the nonprofit sector. Very rare. And I just met my partner, who I am with now, and it seemed too perfect. Again, the job. It provided stability for us to start building our lives together. Taken away by morons and a system completely drenched in hypocrisy and stupidity. And so I walked out that door. I remember waiting for my partner to pick me up, just staring into the sky, being, okay, I get it. I get it. This is my path. And that's where the vow, another seed, the next seed planted. I will build this place. It will be done. For them, for my father, for my son, for every single child. The first one is for men. Ideally, hopefully, through this process, we can make mirroring arenas next to each other for women and for men. For everyone. But I am a man. So I know that fire that burns, that fight. This is how I'd like to finish this. That fight, I've always had that feeling. All this energy, all of this fire in me, where does it go? The gym can't take it. It still burns and keeps me up at night. Where's the fight? I know there's a fight. And I am not scared to fight. But I can't fight what I don't know. And then I learned. That fight was within me. And it was I went through a 10-day Vipassana. It's like the Marines for meditation, to try and find this peace. No, it sent me into depression. The only reason I made it through was because my partner was with me and I didn't want to let her down. I cried on the 4th day. I went into a deep depression after it, because that's not what I needed. There was all kinds of energy trapped in my body that needed to be let out. And this is what somatic is experiencing too. The reason that these places don't exist, the reason why we don't have this, is because it's dangerous. There won't be danger committed upon everything. There will be no weapons, of course. I'm trained in martial arts, and I know many others that are as well, to protect integrity. No one is above the circle. No one is above the community. This is about teaching that as well, the individual and the community, that balance. This is a crucible, a place to go and face yourself with others. To rebuild that circle so we can not become, there's only 2 roads. The path we're on now, if we don't remember our animal, so we can stand up and feel the truth. The truth is felt. We think it's in a book or some random thing. No, the truth can only be felt and remembered through the body. The truth that really matters, the one that you are seeking. And that's what this is for. This is why I wear the mask. This is why I greet you in the streets fearlessly. Because I will not stop making these cards. I will not stop doing circles until we build this place and many more. Because I refuse to go quietly into the night. That is not me. Never has been. And I want to just honor and thank all who have helped me get to this place of understanding. It was through dance. It was through judo, wrestling other men, dancing into states of tears because of how good it felt to be inside my body again. All of the migraines, all of the pain Everything I'd been carrying started to dissipate through the trials I was putting myself through crossing new thresholds, through getting choked out, armbarred, and pinned by another man 9 times in a row until I finally learned, okay, I can do this. And the proper pride when you finally return the favor, the humility of it all. We're mammals. The monster game, the perfect way to end all of this. We're looking, the reason that boys are feeling this way, trapped in video games, the video games and the dopamine little scrolling is the best we can get. I understand the addiction to a video game. Of course, it makes you feel, it's the closest thing you can get to feeling alive. And that is pathetic! You think that's progress? No, that boy alone in his room. He wants to be in the circle. He wants to experience what life has to offer in a safe place where he doesn't have to perform, but learns that just being himself is enough and will show him and open all the doors that he wants to open. Make him feel alive. He wants to play the monster game again like he did as a toddler. You know that game. We all know that game. Why does every kid want to play it? Is that a coincidence? Another not coincidence. Because predator and prey is as old as language itself. We were not always predator. We were prey too. And this game, the hunt itself, that is ecstasy. That is to feel as connected as it gets. The hunt, life and death meeting together. Death sustaining life. Now, of course, that's not what we do with our children when we play Monster. Of course not. But that's what we'll do at the arena. We'll play tag. We will have paintball wars. We will play every sport. We will, again, craft performances in theater, sit around fire, sit in silence. All the necessary trials and experiences that bring wisdom. Technology has given us no chance for that. And it is not the enemy. It is like every other tool that we have. It's how you use it. It's how you use it. That monster game, that expression, and you'll see it soon. Again, somewhere. Anyone who has a toddler sees it often. That thrill of excitement, but just a little fear to get that blood flowing, that excitement. Why, when you ask a child what they're afraid of, most time they'll respond, an animal. Because it's so ingrained. We cannot sever ourselves. The idea of becoming transhuman. Transhumans are the most delusional people on the planet. And that's saying something, considering how many people are very delusional. And that is, everyone is welcome to the arena, as long as there's respect. Bring the skeptical, but this is for the seeker. Anyone. The fire will speak for itself. The silence will speak for itself. So please, join me. And I'll end, I've said this how many times, because how I could talk about this forever. Have you seen? Go back and look. The YouTube video is just me giving this speech over and over and over again, because I will continue to, as I will continue to dance through the streets of Chicago. What did I say I was going to end this with? Who cares? I've said it all. But we must restore the circle. For my little hound. For your hound. Because I am tired of hearing people ask why this violence is committed. because of this disconnection. Bring those boys to the circle so they can remember they don't have to burn the village down. They just have to burn that rage, the fire, the hearth can handle any rage. Give it to trial. Put that rage into something physically, and it will not haunt you. It will not speak evil acts into you like it does for so many. And I know this because I've felt them, but I turned away and knew I could never do that. So of course, suicide. That's the only other option. But I'm lucky, and that's why I'm here now on metaphorical bended knee. Oh, this is how I wanted to end. Great, pop back in. I need a lot more than donations. Donations, of course, are the bedrock to making this all possible. And I've laid out how it will be used in the beginning. And then the website will lay out how it's being used going forward. But I need people. I need a fucking army to build this place. Of all walks of life, any kind, just email me, reach out. Any skill, craft, thing you do will most likely be helpful in some way. And join the circles. Witness the power of a peace circle. That is what I want to leave with you. Join. Email me and I will tell you. We will meet in a park, in a public place, where we can be together and begin building the arena. Every breath I have left will be dedicated to this happening, so that my son will not grow up, and your son and all those to come before, that 5-year-old now who you see begging to wrestle with you, begging to play over and over and over again. It's for them. The circle is as fragile as breath and as eternal as stone.